Okay, so there's your test as far as I'll do it incorrect to show you. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, it's just showing up your ego to you because you get a little bit annoyed with yourself. Okay. Oh, that's good. Something, so you've got to get over the good and the bad. You've just got to do it and go, I'm going to do it incorrect. You know what I mean? Stone face, you don't change, and as long as your feelings aren't trying to hide from the fact that you don't want to show the world, but you have found the art of watching you. I saw this. See, watch my hands in the middle. I don't really want to open it. I find out if it's going to be wrong or not. See, that's again why we don't ki, you know, because I might sound silly. You know, it's all about us. So we get the chance and the tatami of finding out, letting out the person. Don't let it bother you. Just do it. Some teachers say this is a yokoman. There's no such thing as a yokoman. But look, it's on the outside of my body. So that's why it's a yokoman. Because the cut comes at a slight slice. That's all it means. A cut to the side. I could still do, if I wanted, I could still do and bring it over the centre and cut to the side by just turning my body. So then it would be a yokoman. So the reason why from Haso, most of the cuts, once you start doing it fast, are all yokoman, is because they come from the side of the head, because that's where it was. So I get confused about that. So that's one that I've worked on for years and still do sometimes. This part here, you want to stroke you don't want to just stroke it, you want to as if you're letting air out of your body. And as that does that, and then settle. And here you should be calm. You should be alive and alert, but calm. The same, you're looking for the same calmness as that you've got to overcome there. Or the same ego as, yeah, that was good. So I mean, so you've got to be right or wrong. 360 degrees you should be able to attack your enemy from. So this is Haso. All that other twiddling with the Joe was a movement to get into Haso. And now you can either bring it over the head, your choice, or cut from there. So that's a personal thing. I always bring it over the head. You've got to be careful that you don't. You've got to be careful that you don't rest here. You know, you're resting, sort of waiting. What you do is, how I tell you about your fingers and how you should ooze this power in everything you do. You know, it should ooze. So when you come here, you're actually settling, but you should have actually been, I'll say, expanding. So that, you know what I mean? It's like, again, it's the same problem as, well, I won't own the thing as much because I might fall. You know, once you can get that to not bother you, or that to not bother you, and you go, okay, I'm working on my ego, I'm working on my disappointment, and I'm levelling them out, so that way I'm learning Zanshin, I'm learning awareness, but not to be affected by these people, because in a minute I might need to be in an active place. So, I've got the line of thought, but yes, so it's not here, where you introvert, you know, you've actually got to go here, but it's like expansion. And this cut is comes from the expansion. And once you're connected into, you know, the whole part of the movement, I say this quite a lot. I say sometimes I power the Joe. So to get to here, I start powering the Joe. You know, I've got to do something. It just like it'll drop if I do nothing with it. So I start to power the Joe. Here, I now what I call ride the Joe. So as a feeling, as an understanding, I feel that. And then by riding the Joe and feeling the Joe, I go where it takes me, a bit like perhaps your dog does sometimes, you know. Jane says, well, where do you want to go today? And Sanchia takes her off for a walk, perhaps sometimes around the village or another day across the fields. You know. So this is my Joe. So I start it off, I give it a bit of momentum, and now I'm following that. So I'd like you, I've got to be careful of the lights, obviously. It was really just an exercise tonight, but from here it's mechanical, and then you should be part of that, same as we started off tonight like that. Jane said to me today, she said, I said, oh, the meal is set for you. She said, well, adjust it. I said, I can't get my arm, so I've got bad shoulder stuff, I can't get my arm that high. She said, should you be driving? I said, well, I can drive all right because the steering was here. So you've got to work with it, you know. Injury is a horrible thing, but injury also teaches you what you can't do with your body. So just find some movement. Be careful again with this ego. Be careful the ego doesn't go, oh, I could thrust here, or I could ski there. Do you know what I mean? Follow your Joe and end it where it thinks it should end.